Hi everyone, welcome back to Dimitra's Dishes. So today we're going to be making Gemista rice. Now I have a video of Gemista rice and I'll put the link. No, I have a video of Gemista, which is a labor of love to make. It takes a lot of time, a few hours, and it's 100% worth it. But sometimes you don't have all that time, but you want that flavor. And it gets cooked in less than an hour, so it's really worth it. It's yummy. It's rice with the ground beef and the sauce and the roasted vegetables all together, all in one dish. Let's go over the ingredients and we will get started. So Gemista, if you don't know what that is, by the way, Gemista are stuffed peppers and tomatoes. Traditionally, they're stuffed with rice and ground beef and a really nice filling. In Greece, they even stuff squash flowers and all different kind of vegetables. But I have a delicious recipe on there and it is so good and so yummy. But again, it does take a lot of time to make. So this is the quick version of it, of just the filling. But what we do is roast vegetables on the side with it. Now the ingredients are really basic. You need some ground beef, and I love getting lean beef. You can use lamb for this or ground chicken. It works really nicely. And the best flavor from the Gemista comes from the herbs, so there are a lot of herbs in it. I use dill, fresh parsley. I didn't have fresh dill, so I'm using dry dill. If you have fresh dill, go ahead and use it. Canned tomatoes. Now I have tomatoes that are already pureed in here, but like I said, that's my arch enemy in the supermarket. The tomato aisle has way too many tomatoes, so get any tomatoes you find that are not flavored or seasoned and then puree them if you don't find the pureed tomatoes. We need some fresh garlic, salt, crushed red pepper, black pepper, dried oregano. We're gonna need some rice, and then I'm already sauteing 2 onions that I've chopped up in here with my olive oil. And then we need the vegetables. So I like using these grape tomatoes that I found at my supermarket. You can use cherry tomatoes if you like. I've chopped up 2 very big bell peppers into just like medium-sized chunks. If your bell peppers are smaller, use 3. You can use as many or as few as you like. Now I'm going to put my tomatoes and my bell peppers together in the tray, and I'm going to sprinkle them or drizzle them with some olive oil. And I've preheated my oven to the broil setting. I'm also going to put some salt on top of here so they can get some really nice flavor. Let me move this out of the way. And I'm just going to mix this all up so everything is evenly coated. I'm going to pop these in my oven on the highest rack so it's as close to the heating element as possible. And these are going to cook until they're nice and brown, and actually not brown, until they're fully roasted and cooked underneath the broiler. Halfway through, I'm going to turn them. So I put my peppers and my tomatoes in my oven so they can roast. And my onions have been cooking for about 15 minutes on a low heat. You want them to be nice and soft, but not dark or brown in any way. Now while that's happening, I'm going to soak my rice. So you want a cup of basmati rice. What I'm going to do is I'm going to wash it, which means I'm just going to rinse it out with like a few times with water, maybe 4 or 5 times until the water runs clear. And then I'm going to soak it while my onions and my beef and everything are cooking. Alright, so when your onions are nice and soft like this and just slightly golden, just chop up your garlic. And the recipe calls for about 3 or 4 cloves of garlic. I'm going to put 4 because I love garlic. And you can chop it up as fine as you like. I like to have my garlic not completely mashed up in there. Alright, put it in your pot with your onions and let this also soften and cook over medium heat. It's going to take between 3 to 5 minutes, watching it so that it doesn't burn. Alright, the garlic has been cooking for about 3-4 minutes. I'm going to add my ground beef. I'm just going to break it up. And I'm increasing the fire to very high, as high as it goes. Okay, once the meat is all broken up, I'm gonna add my salt, my red pepper, my crushed red pepper flakes, my oregano, and my black pepper, along with 2 cups of crushed tomatoes, or pureed tomatoes, whatever you have. I'm gonna let this come to a boil on very high heat, and then I'll lower the heat to a medium low and cover the pot and let it simmer, cooking for about 15 minutes, which at that point we'll just add the rice to it. Okay, so they just came out of the oven. They were broiling for exactly 12 minutes, and tomatoes got a beautiful char in them, as well as some of the bell peppers. I'm gonna let these cool for a little while, and then we'll add some of them to our Gemista rice, and the rest we're gonna use to decorate them on the plate. All right, so my meat has been cooking for about 15 to 20 minutes. All right, to that now I'm going to add my herbs. I've chopped up my parsley, and I'll add about a teaspoon of dried dill. Give that a nice stir. It smells so delicious, smells so flavorful, so good, so aromatic. Now I'm going to put my rice in. It's a cup of rice that I've rinsed, and I've let it soak in water the whole time the meat was cooking. To that I'll add 2 more cups of water. I'll increase the heat to very, very high. I'll add another teaspoon of salt. And then I'm just going to add just a few of my bell peppers in here, so that way my rice can get some flavor. I don't like for there to be too many bell peppers in there. They're already cooked and I don't want them to be mushy. So just a little bit, like 1 spoonful in there for flavor. You can go ahead and add them all if that's how you like it. But I'll just add a few in there for flavor. I'm going to bring it to a boil. And once it comes to a full boil, I'm going to reduce the heat to a simmer and let the rice fully cook, not uncovering it at all once I put it to the simmer, for about 15-20 minutes. All right, so the rice is ready. It's been cooking for 15 minutes. Let me give it a nice stir. In the meantime, I was also toasting some pine nuts on my stovetop, because I think pine nuts would go really nice on top of this. If you could just smell this, seriously, you'd want to make this every day and eat it all. That's how quick and easy. In under an hour, you have a complete meal that's super duper flavorful, and you get everything in it. You get your vegetables, you get your meats, your rice, everything. It's completely ready. Look at that. I wish you could smell it. Now I'll put it on my plate. I want to have vegetables throughout it. And it's so nice. We'll top it with some vegetables. I'm going to slice my lemon. Let's put a few pieces of feta on top of this too. Sheep's milk feta, the donis, my favorite. The pine nuts are ready too. They're nice and toasty. Let me sprinkle some lemon juice on this. Turn the fire off. This is delicious. It looks delicious at least. Let me take a bite. Where's the feta? Oh my God, it's so good. It reminds me of this Thanksgiving stuffing that my mom used to make. She used to put pine nuts and a very similar rice and ground beef stuffing, but there were also some raisins in it. I know it sounds weird, but it was so good. I'm gonna take a few more bites of this with the creamy feta. You guys can do this, especially even on a busy weeknight. Go right ahead, have some ground meat defrosted in your fridge. Put it all together, and in an hour you have a delicious meal. Go on my website for the exact measurements, www.dimitrasdishes.com. Post some comments down below. What do you want to learn how to cook next time? I'll definitely post a video up. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye, everyone.